On YouTube. You working? YouTube. Boy, it takes me a good 5 minutes, 8 minutes to get that up and running. It looks like somehow I've got an automatic text transcribe happening. And I'm not quite sure how that's working. It must be part of Zoom. Pretty neat. Or is it part of the streaming? Because like it's showing up on, where's this showing up? Everywhere? I think it's just showing up in the YouTube stream. Huh. So I think the plan is for me to just start streaming more often, maybe as I'm working, and then as I'm overcoming obstacles at work, I'll probably share them in a live stream. And it's not going to be like the official Ask an Admin live stream. It'll just be like EJ's daily work kind of thing. That way, I don't need to dedicate a specific time to people asking questions, and anyone can just jump in at any time. When I have meetings, I'll probably just mute everything. See how it goes. But I've got till 1 p.m. Central here for this session. I don't really have anything planned out for this, so I'll probably just sit idle until somebody joins. For YouTube, the way that you join it is you have to find DoWow on LinkedIn, and there's a meeting on our page. I'm not sure if I can get to it without being logged in. Let me see. So LinkedIn, let's just show up if you do that. So DoWow. And I don't see the events. I think you have to be logged in to see the events, and you have to register for it. Let's see what happens if I just click on there. Yeah, it doesn't work. I can get a link to the event too. Let me grab that in another window. So I can post this in the YouTube chat. Find that window right here. So it is, like I said, it's a LinkedIn event. Actually, I can probably skip the LinkedIn event and just put a link to this Zoom meeting. It can probably work too. This is the release schedule for spring 24. Yeah, spring 24. So on the 14th, so 1 week from now, we'll be able to sign up for a pre-release org and then start checking out the new features. So it's kind of weird that you're able to do that before the release notes. If you already have a pre-release org, then I believe this one will just automatically get the spring release. You don't have to create a new one if you already have one. There is another website that I learned about yesterday for figuring out what features are coming. It is architect.salesforce.com. Yeah. I haven't gone through this whole site yet to figure out what's what. I got kind of sidetracked with looking at the diagrams and how you can download a lot of the object models for each of the clouds in a editable diagram. But in here there are, let's see, there should be spots here where you can see like new features that are coming. I don't think it's in here. No, this isn't it. Roadmap Explorer. Yeah. Yeah. So you could say, just give me all the platform changes that are going to be happening. And maybe say flows, for example. And then it gives you columns for each of the upcoming releases. And then you can say, oh, okay, so in March to May, they're going to start offering beta of this action button, which lets you, I think, launch another flow from a flow. So this is another way to get a sneak peek of what is coming. And I haven't really gone through it yet, but this is something that I'll probably take a look at over the weekend. For people watching on YouTube, you don't have to join the Zoom meeting. If you type in the chat, I'll be looking at that and I can reply to things. I think. I haven't really played with the YouTube streaming that much. Still kind of learning. Yesterday was the Chicago World Tour, and there might be additional content up on Salesforce Plus. Salesforce Plus events. The one coming up is New York. I think it's like next week. Yeah, it's on the 14th. So is Chicago in here? Chicago yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, so these, I don't know if they're worth watching or not. They're all very marketing related. Everything is talking about AI, but it helps you get that dose of Kool-Aid without actually attending. Usually when they broadcast these for Dreamforce, I usually watch like the keynote, and that's about it. I don't think they have any of the breakout sessions. The backgrounds of these don't really look like breakout sessions at all. They solved it. Yeah, these look interesting. I haven't watched any of these, but I think I will. Yeah, they look interesting. Mhm. This add junction records is a app exchange tool that I was checking out. It gives you a quick way to add a junction record, like it says. So junction objects are things that are one object that connects two other objects together. So in this example, you might have, instead of having a contact directly on an account, you can have multiple accounts associated with one contact. So if you have like maybe it's a person that works two jobs, right? So they wouldn't just have one company. They might have maybe they handle purchase orders for two companies. The way that you do that in Salesforce is by enabling a feature that allows a contact to have multiple accounts. So going to the setup, I already have it turned on in this org. I think it's under account settings. Uh, yeah, this one here, allow users to relate a contact to multiple accounts. So when you turn that on, it adds another object to your org called account contact relation. So if you don't see this object, it's because that checkbox is not turned on. Inside of here, there is the look up to the contact, look up to the account. So instead of, if that person were to quit, instead of deleting this relationship, you could mark it as not active. And then the roles would be the thing you want to add the stuff to. So like I said, if they were like the handle purchases for a company, then you could like add them into like accounts payable, accounts receivable. So when you do this, it's kind of a nuisance then for you have to always create this middle object. So one way to make that faster then is to use this junction tool, quick add junction record. And I can grab this and paste it into the chat. Can I paste in the chat here? I can. Yeah, I can. Does that show up? The chat did show up in YouTube. And does it show up in the Zoom meeting? It does not show up in the Zoom meeting. So there it is in the Zoom meeting. Yeah, this link here. So I've installed that. I added it to the account object. And now if I want to quickly add a contact, I can just select them from here. So I have a bunch of contacts in the system. So I could add a bunch all at once, and then boom, it generates them. Maybe it's not a great example because there is this is still kind of annoying. I mean, so doing it this way, the downside is that it doesn't populate any other of the fields. So like the relationship or the role is missing. So then I have to go through and edit these and set the role. If I had a default role, that would be honored. But I guess it depends on your use case if this is really going to be helpful or not. I thought it was a neat one. I think it's from Salesforce Labs. Yeah, Salesforce Labs. So that's one. The other, was there another one I was playing with? Oh, child accounts. So I wanted a way to get a related list to originally I was searching for parent-child relationships on accounts. Later turned out that I really don't need parent-child because I'm using a custom field. And so I probably could have just added this as a related list and been done with it. But I kind of stumbled on this this other add-in from Salesforce Labs, and it's called Smart Lists. It's another free one. And the thing that I like about it is that you have this search thing on here and you can define filters. So if I want to quickly jump to a specific child record, I can just search for it in here. And it gives you a larger set of child records that will display. So I think it does up to 2,000 records instead of like, you'll probably only get like 30, I think, using like a dynamic related list or like a single related list. And then you always have to like click more to get in to see it. But the way that this is configured is through custom metadata. Yeah. So I haven't gone through these actions and filters, but I did have to do the definitions and fields. So first you start by creating a definition, and I'll just click the manage records right away. And this is the one that I created, child accounts. And maximum number of records is 2,000. I have this one linked up as parent ID in this example, but you could wire it up using any field you want. I haven't tried the tile mode. Let's see what that looks like. I'll flip this to a tile and refresh it. I see. So there's two here. Doesn't have like any white box around it or anything. Yeah, I don't really care for that. Right now, I just have one name defined, one field. So I could add another one. So instead of managing the definition, it would be managing the field. I have just the account name right now, so I can create a new one. This is only my second time ever creating a field, so I might get this wrong, but let's try displaying the account type. Okay. And it's going to be using that definition. And kind of one of the nice things about doing it this way is that you can label these whatever you want. It's not just going to use the fields label. But I'll just call it type. It will be it is a pickless, but I don't know if you have to select pickless or if that could have been text. I'll start with pickless and see what happens. I don't know, is it type or account type? You see, probably just type. Uh, so it was like competitor. Yeah. So type. Display position. I think it's zero based. So this will be the second one. So 1. I don't know if we need a width. I think there's another position field. And filters. See what happens. Yeah, so we got the type. Let's change it back to a list. We'll go to that definition. Oh, I wanted to see if this lets you change it to a text string. It does. So I wonder if that just impacts the editing or maybe the filters. It doesn't affect the filters, but that's cool that they show up like that. Change it back to a list now instead of a table instead of a card tile. The table editing. So enable editing. Let's try that too. Ooh, delete. Delete sounds interesting. Oh, let's see. All record actions cannot be checked when individual record actions. Let's do that one. Okay. Yeah, so no inline editing. New button. Users can filter in just by their records. I think there's like I think you can set it up so that it like either honors sharing of records or it can bypass it. You can also in, have this thing use a custom Apex class that you develop. So it doesn't have to be directly bound to just one object, I think. I think you can have it basically do a query for anything. So that's pretty neat. I haven't played with that yet. I've installed this into one production org so far. So I still have very limited experience with it. But I think it's going to be one of my go-tos going forward. That's very handy. So that is all I have for today. We are coming up on top of the hour. I'm going to end this one, and then I will be back online Friday, and we'll probably be streaming all morning. So, oh, but now I have a meeting in the morning, so I probably won't be. Yeah, that's why I didn't really put it on the calendar because I never know what's going to happen. I've got a big 2-hour meeting tomorrow, so it might not work. Maybe I'll stream before it, between like 7:30 a.m. and 9 Central Time. So that's it. Have a great day, everyone.